Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today is November the 30th, 2024, 11:30, 2024. First of all, 11 deals with manifestation. It deals with the ability to imagine your outcome, imagine your desired outcome. And 30 deals with creative communication. The most important type of creative communication is communication that is channeled directly from the divine, directly from the ether. So 11:30 tells me to imagine or to open up to your higher self to receive that creative communication that originates from the divine source for the purpose of manifesting. What I'm seeing is, let thy kingdom come, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So you're manifesting something from a heavenly place down to the earthly realm, or you're manifesting something from a higher vibration beyond the third dimension. So it hasn't taken a physical form yet. So it is opening yourself up to be a channel in order to receive a high vibrational idea and crystallize it into something that can be used here on earth. So today is a very important day for receiving inspiration, receiving divine messages. The scripture that's coming to me now is the scripture where Jesus told his disciples, there are other things that I'd like to tell you or to show you, but you are not ready. So the feeling that I'm channeling is the feeling that we have seen enough. We finally have seen enough, and now God is going to reveal to us higher truths that we are able to digest. For those who have been training their perceptive powers, who have been exercising their faith in God, strengthening their faith in divine manifestations. Those of us who have done this will see that there will be much that will be revealed to us today and also in the days to come. I'm seeing something about from now until December the 3rd especially. It's going to seem supernatural signs. I remember about a month ago, I received a message that in 14 days, that our timeline was going to accelerate 14 years. In other words, there were going to be some technological advances that were all of a sudden going to be fast-tracked into existence within 14 days from that moment. Well, that has already passed, and we've experienced how liminal and out of body that was. The last month has felt a bit supersonic speed, warp speed for a lot of us, and a lot of us have been taking this Thanksgiving holiday as an opportunity to get grounded, and to refocus back on our the objectives that we set out to accomplish for before the end of this year. So 11:30, be open to receive communication that you have made possible by having faith in the earlier the earlier things that God has revealed to you this year. So for those of us who have been seeking, we're going to see some things, hear some things, experience some things that are going to make a lot of the questions that we've had this year. Is going to give us a lot of answers. There's going to be some revelations that are going to occur from now until the 3rd, and then 12/12, December the 12th, is a day that keeps coming to me as an awakening. It's like it's going to be like a global awakening. There's going to be a global epiphany that's going to happen by 12/12. It's going to have something to do with, we've already discussed Pluto going out of Pisces and into Aquarius. Well, we're actually going to understand what that means for us more on an energetic level by the 12th. People will really, it'll start to really sink in by the 12th what the age of Aquarius, the Aquarian age, which corresponds to the return of Jesus, and in the old Egyptian text, it would be the age of Horus, the child. So in Egyptian, Horus the child, in astrology, it would be the age of Aquarius, and in Christianity, it would be the return of Jesus, the second coming of Jesus. So we're going to see some things happen in physical laws that will defy the conventional physical laws that can only be explained by quantum mechanics. We're going to see some things that are going to shed more light on quantum mechanics. Exactly. We have returned to an age of miracles, and you've probably noticed that we've had more UAP phenomenon than we've ever had before, since we really started to see a lot of that happen in the 50s, in the early to mid 50s. So the disclosure is in full swing right now, and as I foretold, I had a vision in the end of 2021. October 10th, 2021, I had a vision in my 8th prediction for 2022 that Earth would start to see, would start to get UFO and interdimensional visitations that would look a lot like fireballs, and humans would be given an option to be raptured up into a safe place while the earth was cleansed. So I feel that we're going to start seeing a lot more of that begin to manifest from December the 3rd to December the 12th. So we've got 11:30. 11:30 is 41. 41, it always tells me of a leveling up, and this leveling up always occurs with some sort of uncomfortable event that we survive, and we end up raising up to the next level after this event. So 41 is 5, and then 5 plus 24 is 8. So 41 plus 8, 49. It definitely is a level up to a higher plateau of understanding, a higher plateau of power to work from, that we will now begin to assimilate this new knowledge, assimilate these new abilities, assimilate into this higher frequency of existence. It's something that's going to take place on a global scale. It is going to cause a transformation where we are really going to see humanity be ushered into, it's like the carpet being pulled from under us and replaced the carpet removed, the floor lifted, and then new carpet put under us, a new level of understanding, causing a new perspective, a paradigm shift, um, a paradigm shift throughout humanity is something that we are going to begin to feel starting today. You can feel it right now. You can feel the wind as the wind agitates, as you can feel the temperature fluctuations in the air, and as the temperature fluctuates, you can feel how it moves the wind. There's definitely a front coming through right now. The whole world is beginning to feel this transition from a lower energy level to a higher energy level, and our survival is going to depend on our ability to assimilate this new information and to adapt. I'm getting some information about shame. Shame consists of two parts. In order for a human being to feel shame, first of all, a rule or a law or a principle has to have been broken, either by the actual person who's feeling it, or by someone who transgressed against the person who's feeling that shame. But the second component of shame has to do with unforgiveness of self. So I'm being taken back to the story of the Garden of Eden, when the serpent told Eve that if they ate from that one particular tree, that they would become like God. What I'm hearing is that he said that they would know everything, the sum of God's knowledge. That tree represented the whole essence of God's divinity. He had no beginning and no end, so we say Alpha and Omega, which means that everything that exists is contained in God's essence. And that one tree was put there because God was honoring our gift of free will, knowing that we had free will to choose to or not to eat from that tree, and that the result of eating that tree would be that we would all of a sudden begin to be tapped into the full collective of everything that has ever and will exist. And being in imperfect bodies and having imperfection in us, it caused a cognitive dissonance. And as the light reveals, as the frequency increases, it gives us we have a chance to break through the cognitive dissonance and eventually break this curse. But the curse that we put on ourselves, that Satan tempted us to fall into, could only be broken after we recognize that we are actually originally children of God. The glory has to go back to God before the curse would be broken. It was a challenge that separated humans away from their divinity, and they would have to keep learning this higher knowledge until they eventually reconnected to their divinity. And then we had to reach an acknowledgement of that, which would put us on a stable, which provides us a stability. This knowledge of God, this trust of God, this coming back to Jesus moment is actually what is our rock. It is there. I'm getting Peter. Our rock moment is this coming to Jesus moment, where we remember our divinity and we actually acknowledge that all of our power comes from God. And knowing that, understanding, feeling, acknowledging that forgiveness, when we reach that communion with God, we feel his forgiveness, and therefore we are able to forgive ourselves. We become righteous and we obliterate our shame.